Alan Connolly, how's tricks?
Good, are you?
Busy day?
Very busy day, yeah.
Yeah, you've been in Muckross House in Clarny since about 1, I'd say, have you?
Yeah. It's one, yeah.
Yeah, Munster Championship day, so a lot of chatting, a lot of talking. Cork remote run well.
Yeah, we're going well. League final to look forward to. That would be great preparation for the 20th of April. We didn't put any milestone in the league or anything but doing league final is a great plus.
You had so many positives to take from 2024, but also that big negative in losing the All-Ireland final, right?
Yeah.
You're part of an amazing occasion, and you had great days on the way there, but you fell short. What was the important thing to get right between the winter and the start of the Munster campaign this year? What did you need to do as a team?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't take it as a big negative. I take it as a big learning, really, because we only lost by a puck of a ball, really. You can't really fault anyone. We played till the very end. It's just a puck of a ball, and I suppose in terms of what we've done, we've gone up another level. That's about it, really. Our S&C's gone up, our hurling's gone up, tactics gone up, everything, and we just need to keep on improving every week.
Can you feel that energy in the group?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a good buzz around now for the game in 2 weeks and for the game in 4 weeks. But yeah, we're really looking forward to the start of the Munster Championship. Yeah,
that must be I'm only guessing here, but that must be one of the most enjoyable parts of being part of an intercounty setup, is when things are clicking and you're moving in the right direction, and you see the bit of interplay that you have up top in attack, and there's nothing won yet. There's a league final to come, the Munster Championship to come, but that element of it must be enjoyable.
Yeah, definitely. It's so enjoyable going to training at the moment, and the competition there is unreal. You're trying to get into the first 15, the first 26. The extended panel trying to get into the first 26. The names around the place. The training's been unreal. It's very enjoyable at the moment.
I caught up with Patrick Horgan last week at a launch in Croke Park, and he was just talking about he'd never seen depth like it in the Cork panel.
Yeah. It's
all well and good saying that, right? We can see it on the field though. Are you feeling it as well, and being part of that, training it every night?
Yeah, definitely. When you're playing the A versus B games, it's not really A versus B. It's nearly two A teams playing each other. But yeah, he's right in saying that. The depth is unreal. Looking around, trying to get even the last day when I was on the bench, looking on the bench, you're how are you on the bench? So yeah.
How did you take 2024? As the year was going on, you had caught fire with a couple of hat tricks in a couple of games, and your form is brilliant. How did you find it personally?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole year. You have to enjoy days like that. We won't be playing long. It'll be over before we know it. Obviously the hat trick last year was an unreal day for me. But it's about getting consistency now in performances, and hopefully I can bring that throughout the year.
The performance in Cusack Park this year, regardless of whether you won by 20 or you lost by 20, I'm not sure anyone would have been happy in terms of there's still Munster to come. But as a group, that must have been so satisfying to get the job done that day in the manner in which you did, knowing what's to come down the line.
Yeah, obviously, it was we didn't really look at it that way at all. There was no, obviously we're hurt by the All-Ireland final last year and stuff like that, but it wasn't a grudge match or anything. It was just trying to get the win, and that's the way it will be on the 20th as well. We're just going to try and get another win, and that's all it is.
News has filtered through this morning that Páirc Uí Chaoimh is already sold out. There's going to be a brilliant double header there,
yeah.
Or it's on the way to being so anyway. That must be really exciting.
Yeah, the Cork fans will follow you to the end of the world, especially when things are going so well at the moment. But the sport, just crazy. Even last year with the Limerick and Tip game,
your class
down the park in Thurles, they'll follow you anywhere. So yeah, it's unreal.
Does it look? I know you're talking about it being a short career, and you corrected me when I said it was a negative last year. It was a learning, but I'm not sure I've ever experienced the colour, the noise, the electricity. And I know the game added to it of the All-Ireland final last year. I know you're playing it, but can you take stuff from that? Could you appreciate that at the time? Because you're a young man, you're early on in your intercounty career. Do you know what I mean? I've spoken to the likes of Andy Moore and others in football who they learned to take in the huddle beforehand or the walk around beforehand, and they learned to kind of appreciate the moment of the game. Is that something you've been able to do, or is it?
You can and you can't. You want to embrace it all when you're playing, but you can't really. You have to be in the moment when you're playing. Play the game, not the moment. That saying, yeah, I don't know. It's obviously going to be something that I look back when I'm retired, how amazing it was, but Yeah, just trying to enjoy it as much as I can.
And get back to it as well. That's the kind of key, isn't it?
Yeah, well, like when you're on the pitch, you're on the pitch. Like when you're off the pitch, then you can think about all that stuff. I think.
Last one, right? So league final. Best of luck in that one.
Thank you.
There's been a lot of talk about Easter Sunday, the rematch, Ennis. It's going to be hopping.
Yeah.
I was at Clare and Limerick the year beforehand, and Clare had a brilliant start, and Limerick reeled them in, and the sun was baking down. It was a glorious day for Limerick that day. You know it's going to go up levels. Do you have to picture that mentally? Do you have to kind of get ready for that in your own head, in your own psyche, that whatever we've played so far is going to lift levels in Easter Sunday?
Yeah, like I said earlier, the league final is great preparation for that. There will be a championship bite to that game. You know, there'll be no shadow boxing or anything like, and it'll be great preparation. But like in terms of mentally getting on for Ennis and stuff like that in the crowd, like we've done it before. Like we know what it's going to be like. We just have to keep backing ourselves and keep improving until then. And I'm sure we'll do that.
Yeah, Alan Connolly, best of luck in the league final, best of luck in the Munster Championship.
Thanks very
Looking
much.
forward to seeing you in
Thank
action.
you.
Delighted to be joined at the Munster Championship launch by tip captain Ronan Maher. How are you getting on?
Good, all good.
Busy day?
Busy day down here in Killarney, yeah, but some scenery all right.
You might come down on your holidays, so this is kind of different. You're kind of here for business today.
Here for business today, yeah, plenty of interviews, but yeah, lovely spot, listen, it's great scenery, isn't it? And perfect spot to have it and to launch the Munster Championship, it's a great day.
Absolutely. Is it hard to, or impossible to focus on the Munster Championship, or is it always there in the back of the head when you've got such a big game coming up in Páirc Uí Chaoimh in the league final?
Yeah, sure, listen, I suppose the Munster Championship is what every team is focusing on, but I suppose you have to look at the league and I suppose look at each game, going out and trying to improve as a team. And I suppose one thing for us was trying to get that consistency back into our performances, and that's what we focused in on, and I'd like to think that we've improved a good bit on that. But like that, we'll train hard for the next 2 weeks now. We'll really focus in the league final. There's silverware there to be got, so we'll try and put our best performance together on Sunday week, and if that puts us in a good position to win the game, we'll be grateful for that. And but like I said, it's Munster Championship is 2 weeks after that, and I suppose every team has to be really focused in on that, because it's really brutal in Munster.
Brutal. That's probably the way to put it. That's a fair way of putting it. Fair to say there was lows last year. Like the stepping blocks that you've taken along in the spring this year. You mentioned consistency of performance. You've also had a fair injection of youth as well. Like that. Does that make it trickier, or does that make it easier to try and set standards and get things motoring early doors?
Well, I suppose not necessarily. I think the young lads have come in and they don't know any different. You know, they've had great success underage, so that's a really good boost for us. And like they're really good lads, like, you know, and they've drove the group on that bit more. And obviously, like you said, a good few lows last year, but we've parked that and we've moved on. This is a new group of players together again, and focusing in to improve every day. We go out into the pitch and put in good performances for the tip support, and I'd like to think that we've done that today so far, but we're continuously looking to improve as a team. And like I said, those young lads that have come in, there's 5-6 of them there that are really refreshing and really mature young lads and driving us on the whole time as well.
A league final against Cork in a sold-out Páirc Uí Chaoimh with the Offaly Waterford game going on as well. Like that has to be a positive to get that experience to get you rolling into Munster.
Of course, yeah, and like we have to go down there in the Munster Championship to play Cork as well, so it's going to be a packed out stadium that day obviously as well. So it's great learning for everybody involved in this to go down there. I suppose you have to focus on the game, but like, you know, to play in front of that big crowd, and especially for a lot of the younger lads as well. But like, it's a learning curve for everybody there, and it's great prep for Munster Championship.
Yeah, you mentioned the brutality of the Munster Championship. What are the lessons that you've learned, like to take into week 1 against Limerick?
I suppose it's just prepping yourself to put in the best performance possibly, and if that's possible, and if that gets you the result on today, it's great. But you can't dwell on that then after that. No matter what the result is, you have to be ready to go 6-7 days later again, you know. And that's probably the big learnings to take from the last couple of years. No matter what the result is, you have to be ready to go, because it really determines 1 win, 2 wins could really determine your Munster Championship, you know. And getting a result is really important every day you go out. But like that, just trying to go out every day, put in a good performance, and if that puts us in a great position, all well and good.
Yeah, there's so much talk in Gaelic football and hurling about peaking at the right time, not peaking too early in the spring. It's such a fine balance, isn't it? Because even in Munster you can't peak too early because you can get caught, you know, in the All-Ireland series then. So like, how do you, I suppose, manage that and block that out and make sure that you're in the right place?
I suppose it's a tricky one, yeah, because if you're not winning matches in the league, supporters can get in your back then too as well. So I don't really believe in peaking too soon or anything like that. You can't beat winning, and you can't beat playing competitive games. And the league this year has been hugely competitive with the teams in it, and like, it's great preparation for the Munster Championship. So winning, going out, playing these really good matches can only be a positive as far as I can see going forward. And like I said, like, the Munster Championship is so tough. Like, it's great to be like getting these games in the league, and like you're going to come up against these teams later on in the year, so it's really important, I think, and it's a really good positive to take.
You've really made that position in the centre of the tipped events your own in the last couple of years. Like, that's something that you've been kind of been polished for, I suppose. Like, since you've broken into the tip team, you've been kind of working towards that. Mentality-wise, knowing that you're there in the centre and you're so important to it, is that something you're carrying in as captain as well? That a lot of it kind of revolves around you.
Not necessarily, no. I suppose there's like just great lads around me there as well, and I suppose like I have been playing the half back line a good while now, but it's something I go out every day is trying to put in the best performance possible for myself, for the team, for Tipperary. So like your focus has to be really well, like, and so I'm not going to focus in on stuff like being the centre of defence. That's not my approach to it at all. So it's really just going out to make everybody look good around you and trying to improve the team as best possible. Really enjoying playing there at the minute, and like any day you get to go out to play is great. So it's not something we take for granted, and listen, it's been really enjoyable so far and continued hopefully. So yes, it's like it's a tough times, but like something we really all love doing, and yeah, so happy to be playing there.
The brother Paddy's Laker Gale had caught the attention in early spring when we were all getting our feet back under the table and getting used to going to games again. Very enjoyable episode. You featured a few times in it as well. I think there was a great shot of the two of you. Was it walking down the kind of road at home with the family houses nearby as well? How did you find that?
Yeah, I suppose it's strange looking at it when you're looking back on it. I suppose you're telling, a lot of your private life that through the Laker Gale. So definitely a bit odd watching it, but really happy the way it turned out, and he was thrilled. So I suppose, listen, he's put in great service for Tipperary over the years, and I suppose he was well deserving of getting one in the end. And I suppose everybody got a good insight on what he was like through the Laker Gale, and what it's like around the home. We're all so indulged in hurling, and the uncle next door, the grandmother down the road, so we're all around the one place. So I think everybody got a good insight into his life and his experience playing with Tipperary, and I suppose the way he approaches hurling, and the kind of the professionalism he approached his career with as well, as I think was really highlighted throughout the Laker Gale. So he thinks it was ran off.
It really stood out, yeah, and it also stood out that, you know, and I know you followed similar paths, but how close you are as well. Like, what has he passed on to you to take with you as tip captain?
I suppose we don't chat too much about it, but I suppose I can only look up to him and admire him for what he's done. So that drives me on the whole time, and I suppose it can ground you really well as well. I suppose just to be looking up to him is I suppose he was really elite, and I suppose it puts me in a good position to put my best self, I suppose, out onto the field every day. So like when you're looking up to him, playing alongside him, it's really, you know, you're in the right place and doing the same things he was doing. So you know, you're prepping yourself really well for games. Listen, it was good to have alongside me. He's not there anymore, so I have to kind of knuckle down for myself and do the best I can. So listen, great experiences with him on the field and off the field as well. So I'd like to think I'd learned an awful lot from him as well growing up.
Ronan Maher, Tipperary captain.
Cheers.
Very best of luck this year. Very best of luck in 10 days' time, I suppose, and then when the Munster Championship kicks in.
Yeah,
all the
thanks
best.
very much.